Okay, now this is assignment 1, and this assignment 1 is about writing a research proposal. Okay, now uh, the duration of this assignment is 4 weeks. 4 weeks. So this week is week 3, and I expect you to submit the work at the end of week 6. Week 6. So meaning that you have 4 weeks. Okay, the weightage of this assignment is 40%. There's a lot of marks, meaning that if you get full mark, you pass this particular course. Okay, so the weightage is 40%. There's a lot of marks. Okay, now let me explain the question. I'm going to read this and I'm going to try my best to explain to you what I meant by this. Okay, now the scenario. Now, when I say the scenario, you must assume that this is the case, okay? Put yourself in this situation. Okay, assume that you are living in a fictional alternate world, meaning that this is like science fiction. Okay, in this alternate world, Malaysia as well as other countries in the world are facing a crisis due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Events in this alternate world are the same with this world that we are living this, okay? And things work the same way with the real world, except that the mobile application My Sejahtera, you know My Sejahtera? I'm sure that you have heard about My Sejahtera. Okay, except that the mobile application My Sejahtera has not been developed and no other similar application has been developed for use in Malaysia. Now, in this alternate world, you must assume that My Sejahtera does not exist. Okay. Now, in this alternate world, because you are now currently living in this alternate world, you have this great idea for an application that closely resembles the My Sejahtera application in the real world. Just imagine, okay, My Sejahtera, nobody has idea of My Sejahtera, but now for your final year project, oh, I have this great idea for my FYP. Why don't I create something like My Sejahtera, although nobody knows what is My Sejahtera, but you have this idea to create something similar to My Sejahtera. Okay, so your ideas, your application that you want to create for your FYP will have the same modules, will function the same way, and will have the same interface with My Sejahtera. Just imagine that no one else has created My Sejahtera, but you have this in your mind. And similar to My Sejahtera, the mobile application will interface with the server. Remember, because if you are familiar with My Sejahtera, you study that, you will see that some of the information is actually interfaced with a server. So meaning that the information is not stored in the application itself, but it is taken from, is updated daily, such as, you know, we have many things like tracking of in 1 kilometers how many people have infected with COVID within your area and so on. So basically, these are the things that interface with a server. So that information is not hard coded or embedded within the apps itself, but it is taken from a server. Okay, now that's the scenario. So what is the task? Okay, now for the task, you are required to write a research proposal for your BSE final year project to fulfill the requirements based on the given scenario. So meaning that for the this assignment, you must create a research proposal to propose an application that is very similar to MySejahtera. Okay, so this is like we want to reverse engineer. We have the outcome, but we don't have the proposal. So based on the outcome you can look into the outcome, write a proposal for that, assuming that nobody knows about MySejahtera. So you need to write a research proposal which covers all the 11 elements that we have covered for the past 2 weeks. So how do you get MySejahtera? You may download the MySejahtera application from Apple App Store or Google Play. Okay, it's up to you based on I'm using, but both are the same, I guess. So you can download this. So you need to write your research proposal using the FYP proposal template version February to 2021 that you can retrieve from this course VLE. So meaning that if you click into the link of this assignment 1, I have actually attached one Microsoft Word template for the FYP research proposal template version February 2021. That is the latest version. Okay, so you must prepare a convincing research proposal. Okay, the keyword is convincing, because proposal you need to convince us to say that, oh, your project is very good, meaning that your project has the potential to be very good. So you must prepare a convincing research proposal based on the elements that have been explained in class. So meaning that this is the 11 elements. Okay, now for the name of the application in the alternate world, meaning that the application that you are going to propose, please choose a different name from the original name MySejahtera. Okay, please do not use MySejahtera in your title. Just assume that the application that you are going to propose, the name is a different name, but do not use MySejahtera, because MySejahtera is copyright. Okay, we cannot just say, oh, MySejahtera, then this is like ciplak, okay, or plagiarism. So basically, please choose a different name. Use your creativity to find a good name. Okay, use the name that you have chosen to be part of the project title. The project title should be concise but descriptive. Okay, remember, you can refer to the notes. Now, for the literature to support the introduction, project background, and problem statement, remember these 3 elements: introduction, project background, and problem statement. You need to write something. Okay, now you need to write something based on some references. You need to find references, suitable references. Please properly cite from reputable sources. Reputable. Okay, what does reputable means? Something that we can trust, or many people can trust. Okay, now if you take this from a Facebook page of someone sharing something, is that reputable? It is a source, but I do not think that that is reputable. So a reputable sources, in the case of, for example, COVID, such as references from the WHO, World Health Organization, example, the Ministry of Health of Malaysia, that is considered reputable. Majlis Tindakan Negara, MTN, when it comes regarding the SOP and so on, and etc. etc. meaning others. Okay, but you have to actually find something that is considered reputable. So meaning that if we cite meaning we mention, we take from this reference, people don't question, okay, is this valid? Perhaps this is like a hoax, this is not true. So we don't want something like that. So make sure that you take from reputable sources using the APA citation style. Okay, now this APA citation style I will cover next week. Okay, I will cover next week. Okay, you may also search for additional information with regard to MySejahtera on the web. Okay, because there are some other information that you can find about MySejahtera on the web, which you can use as part of the introduction, background, or problem statement. Okay, depends on the suitability of what you want to include in all these three sections. Okay, as long as the information is from a reputable source. You see that I mentioned again reputable source. Okay, for the whole of the research proposal, you should have at least 5 cited resources. So meaning that citation at least 5. At least 5. Minimum. That is minimum. You can have more. Okay, you can have more. But must be from reputable sources. Okay, for the scope of the project and the expected outcome, you should study the existing MySejahtera mobile application via the application itself. So meaning that because when you write in reality, okay, when you come up with a proposal, you have very little idea of what the outcome will look like. So you try to use your imagination. But now what I'm giving you, okay, look at this MySejahtera application. You don't have to imagine. You can actually look at the application, study this application, then identify what are the modules, what are the scope of users, what are the scope of the programming, okay, the project itself, okay, based on what is actually exists in the application. You can look at that. Okay, so here you are for the scope of project and expected outcome, you need to study, okay, the application and identify all those that you have studied in your research proposal. Okay, this is like reverse engineer. Okay. However, okay, here it says that you are not allowed to add, to omit. Omit means that to take out or to suggest anything different with regard to the modules, functionality, and interface of the original MySejahtera application. Or for example, let's say that I give you one example. Let's say that in MySejahtera application, there perhaps is notification in the form of, I do not know, let's say there are some notification, but there is no email notification. Let's say in MySejahtera, there is no email notification. And suddenly you decide in your project, I want to add email notification. So I will consider that is to be wrong, because MySejahtera does not have email notification, if that is the case. So here I'm saying that you must study properly MySejahtera, and for the scope of the project and the expected outcome, follow accurately what has been offered by MySejahtera. Okay. So here, however, you may use your ICT knowledge and common sense to fill in the missing gaps with regards to the possible technologies and how things should work for the application if such matters are unknown or not clear. Okay, for example, let's say for mobile application, it is not mentioned anywhere what tools are used to develop MySejahtera. Are they using Android Studio? Are they using Ionic? Are they using Flutter? You have no idea. And even after you look for information, you do not know how do they actually develop My Sejahtera. So here, you can use your own knowledge and some common sense to suggest, oh, I'm going to develop this new application using Flutter, for example. Or you think that, oh, I want to use Ionic because it is not mentioned here. So basically, here you use this to fill in the missing gaps, because gaps sometimes you do not know. So you can suggest, as long as it makes sense with the nature of the project. I give you one example not make sense. Or I'm going to create this new mobile application. You give a name using PHP and MySQL. Then I say does not make sense. Why? Because this is mobile application. PHP is for web application. Does not make sense. So basically, these are some of the things that I allow you to use your creativity and your knowledge to fill in the gaps. Something that is unknown or you are not sure, but you can actually suggest. Okay, for the program of work, use the waterfall model for development. Okay, please use the waterfall model. Everyone use the waterfall model, because I think the waterfall model is very simple. Create a Gantt chart for the project plan based on duration of 1 year. Similarly, with the example in the slides, I want to have like FYP1, FYP2. So what are the things that you are going to have for the project plan? And again, use your own knowledge to suggest what resources that are needed and the estimated cost. Okay, this is in general of what I want, okay, for the research proposal for the assignment. So meaning that you are going to create a mobile application with the same functionality, with the same modules and features as My Sejahtera. Okay. Okay. Now, a reminder for everyone. Okay. Most of you are doing in groups of 2 person. So you are not allowed to have any discussion whatsoever with different groups regarding this assignment. Meaning that if you are with your friend, only discuss this with your friend. Do not discuss with another friend from another group. Okay, why? Because the research proposal for each group should be unique. Everyone, although I give the same title, the same topic that you need to do, but if you do it on your own, the outcome of the proposal itself will be very different from another group. But if you start discussing while doing the assignment, and then you will see that this group is very similar to that group. This is the same. It's almost the same. So now, if there is any trace of plagiarism means that there is copy. I don't care who copies from who. If I see this is very similar and it's not logical for these two groups to have something that is very similar, if there is any trace of plagiarism between groups, your assignment mark will be deducted accordingly. So I will deduct marks. You may lose a whole part of your proposal marks. So please do not discuss, do not share, do not copy from each other. If I see similarities and based on my judgment, I find that okay, this is plagiarism, you discuss, you copy, someone copies from someone, or perhaps you discuss, they have the same way of writing things, then I will deduct marks. Okay, so for submission, you are required to submit the research proposal document you use the FYP proposal template, so and convert into PDF form and submit to VLE before 13th of March 2021, 7 p.m. So meaning that I'm giving you 4 weeks, okay, 4 weeks to complete this particular assignment. And this assignment will be 40% of the overall IDB 30102 course marks. Okay, and any question on the assignment? Is it clear to you what you need to do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I advise you to start early. Please do not wait until 1 week before submission only to start, because this there is actually a lot of work, although it looks not so difficult, but I'm giving you 4 weeks for a quality work. I expect quality work. Okay, quality work. And although some of the things I have not covered, such as the APA citation, references, and so on, which I will cover next week, but you can actually start immediately. Okay, so please use the 4 weeks given to you to produce a high quality research proposal. Again, I would remind you that this is actually 40% of the 2 credit course. Okay, so there is a lot of marks here. It's not like 15%. This is 40%, 40. Okay, almost half of everything. Okay, okay. If you have any question, okay, for example, regarding the assignment, you are not sure. Okay, so you are welcome to actually ask your questions through our WhatsApp group. So I will do my best to actually answer your questions so that you are well informed of what other things to do. But again, just a reminder, please do not wait until last minute, because if you ask me last minute, sometimes I may be busy doing other things, okay, so may not be able to entertain you. So but please, you have 4 weeks to ask me, and hopefully someone will ask me when you do this. You are not sure of some things, please ask me. Okay, okay. Lastly, any question before we finish our class today? Any question? Okay, if there
No,
is
sir.
okay, now if there is no question, I wish you all the best. So I will actually very soon, within this week, I will compile the videos for today's lecture together with the explanation of the assignment, and you can refer the videos through the VLE, okay, for this particular course. Okay, okay. So I think that's it for today. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.